doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey!
We'll have a little pop-up. Have everybody over. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Just all this blackness, and we all just getting together, we playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now, man. So it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
My boy brought me back some more Dominican rum.
Ooh, the one we had when we was playing dominoes?
Yeah.
Nice.
But this is post tragedy.
Oh, it might be tampered with.
This might be a crapshoot.
Okay, let's say I'm about to push play. 1, 2, and go.
Mr. Zuckerberg, I want to get through a number of questions: diverse asset management, fair housing issues, diversity and inclusion, and privacy and security. Diversity and inclusion is very important to me, and it's personal for me. I've been here before with Facebook about the lack of diversity and inclusion. I've discussed this repeatedly with your company over the past years. I'm vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and the Congressional Black Caucus, for the record, has had multiple meetings with your company, and here we are again. Let me get into asset management. Certainly that's a large industry, as we know, something like a $70 trillion industry. Facebook has more than $46 billion on record in cash or cash equivalents and marketable securities. Are any of these funds managed by diverse-owned companies? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Congresswoman.
Yes or no?
I don't believe.
So I take that as a no. You have a stable of big law firms that work on your legal cases around the country. How many diverse-owned or women-owned law firms are contracted by Facebook? Number. Just give me a number or range.
Congresswoman, I don't know.
I take that as I don't know. How many women or minority partners work on these cases?
Congresswoman, I don't know the answer to that question off the top
so
of my head, but
did you review the packet? Did you review the packet that went out in notification to you and your team about what was included today, and diverse asset management was in it? Did you read that?
Congresswoman,
There's a piece of legislation that I'm working on that was in the packet. Did you or your team review it? I mean, everybody's talked about your scholarly resume. Did you review the packet that was sent to you from this committee? Obviously, that's a no. Let me go to something you introduced. You introduced Laura Murphy. So you know who Laura Murphy is because you said her name, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you hired her as a consultant, and in your opening statement, you talked a lot about civil rights. I think we should probably phrase it a little differently, that you work with civil rights work is because it's a result of the number of lawsuits that you've had. NAACP, even Secretary Ben Carson filed a fair housing lawsuit against you for violations. So let me ask you this. Do you know what redlining is?
Yes.
Okay, then you should have known better. And maybe if you had real diversity or inclusion on your team, somebody in that room would have said what you were doing when you looked at what you were doing in the housing, how you were redlining or using zip codes and to eliminate people from getting information. Now, have you read?
Jesus. Welcome back, y'all. Brothers Breaking Bread podcast.
That sounded like my mama.
Triple B.
That nigga Zuckerberg got red, bro.
Nigga, I do not have the time. I take that as a no. I take it as a yes.
No. Nigga, do you know what redlining is?
That's the only. Oh shit! No, hey, Joyce. Oh my gosh, she's. I've already said that she's a beautiful woman, and the way she laid into this man's. Woo. Well, we'll continue on with this grilling after we check in. Triple B's, we back at it, man. Thank y'all again for another week. We got to have the Brothers of Doom in the house. Joe Jeff, 10 meters calling in. Everybody's here. Not everybody, but the people who had time to be here. James being all graduate and celebratory and all that other shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Let's get to it. Hey, Joe, what's going on, man? How you doing, pimp?
Man, not bad. Had an interesting week, man.
Talk to it.
Had an interesting week. So, got called in on Wednesday to do another podcast. So, for a local, sports talk podcast, Midwest Mics, which was hosted by a former colleague of mine, Mr. Gary Carl. And a few of his compatriots. So basically, I called into the old Kemper Arena, Hy-Vee Arena.
Nice.
And I hadn't been there in a while.
Hello?
They split the big stadium into two levels.
Yeah.
So they got basketball floors down below and up above.
Hello?
Same time, they could probably, get a tournament going and have several levels going on.
Joe,
you cutting out.
You cutting
also
in and out. Hey, Joe, you
have
cutting in and out.
350-meter Mondo track. We still there, bro?
Yeah, we hear you cutting in and out. Me and Anthony are both losing you sometimes.
We still there?
Yeah, you here. You here. You back now.
You here.
Hello, Governor.
Yeah, he gone again.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm here. You cutting in and out.
Well, I did the podcast.
Well, you shared it with us, and I listened to some of it. Yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. So you started talking. The guide said no, you would not be sharing none of this good information with anybody.
This good info, man. Yeah, I don't know. It was a cool little experience, man. They interviewed me in my coaching capacity.
Okay.
And so, they basically, like I said, it's a former coworker of mine. His name is Gary Carl. And so he basically has, a lot of guests who come on and they do a weekly show at the Hy-Vee Arena.
Right.
And, they basically kind of talk about what's going on in local sports.
Right.
So he's had a lot of people that I know on the show because, we've kind of worked in some of the same circles. And so he was at a football game a couple weeks ago, and we just kind of caught up, and he was like, hey, man, come on to the show. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. So last Wednesday, went on there, and he interviewed me, like I said, as the track coach at the high school that I'm currently at. And it's kind of cool little interview, man. Cool little interview.
Nice. Very nice, dog. Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Tan? What's going on, man?
Oh, ain't nothing going on over here in Austin. Same old. Put in a really big week. We had, I think we ended up doing about 60, 70 cases this week.
Jesus.
Yeah, we were pumped. Yeah, we was pumping it this week. But made it to the end of the week, and as a caveat, I didn't do them by myself. It was it was in our whole unit between 4 docs and a day and 4 different teams. So
not too bad. It's actually
yeah,
it's not bad. Yeah. Hey, your boy. I don't want to say the man who brought us to OPR. He trying to do 10 Watchmens this Wednesday. So everybody losing their stuff. And for those who like, what's up? If you listen, what's a Watchman? You have a left and right atrial appendage, but it's usually the left atrial appendage that gives you the most problems, as far as like strokes and things of that. It comes in complications with atrial AFib. What we do is we put a device in there that can help reduce you having a stroke. There we go. So that's what a Watchman device is. So just caveat to that. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I be talking technical jargon on the show. But go ahead, man.
So we have a doc in Austin that puts in about, I think he does an average of 5 to 7 a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, y'all got like 8. They got like 4 or 5 rooms.
We have we have 7.
Yeah,
2 of them are down. 2 of the rooms are down because they're not enough staff. But
room and a half.
That's the caveat.
A room and a half.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's good. I know last week you was on the road, so no travels this week.
As a matter of fact, I'm on a plane first thing in the morning to Colorado. I'm going to re-up.
Ooh. Rocky Mountain High. Rocky Mountain. No?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the rock
that's afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
Yes. And
afternoon delight.
You getting all of it. You hitting all the motherfucking songs, dog. Hitting all of them.
Right.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. Over on this side, y'all seen the video. These motherfucking coons is back. And now they not in our attic, but I guess them niggas is mad about us closing down the whorehouse we had going on upstairs in the attic. Because Lady Lavender, she bought these lights from Amazon. These solar powered night lights, whatever. And she was like, "Oh, if we put the lights on the back patio, it might keep them away." No, them niggas thought them lights was disco balls. So she came home. I came home from work, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, you should go out and see the lights. The lights are still working." Open that curtain up, dog. That big ass raccoon was in the window. Like, "What's up, nigga? So you gonna let us in? Cause I noticed you closed the back entry. So can we just come up? Can we just come through the side door? Just we know where the attic's at. We just need to get in." So that's what we dealing with, Doc. Then she said, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if Dr. Doolittle did moved in down the road, because she saw a groundhog the other day, got raccoons. Motherfucking, is somebody decoding the nukes? What's going on in the background?
It sound like Joe Biden.
Hey, nigga, it sound like 24. Boom, 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 boom.
Nigga, you... Oh shit!
But no,
think about to save America again.
Yeah, dog. Y'all gotta save America, dog. Hey, but oh yeah, and then good and bad news. Found out that my cousin that I grew up with, Dee Dee, found out she's been kind of keeping it a secret, but she's been having her and her boyfriend. They've been having she's been having a battle with breast cancer for the last say about 8 to 10 weeks. She just kind of made an announcement on Facebook, called me, and of course, I'm sorry. I'm like, you ain't gotta apologize. It ain't about me. It's about what you had to do was best for you and your family. Some real aggressive, and once again, man, men, women. Just even if you don't feel sick, man, get your annual checkups. She wasn't feeling sick, wasn't feeling anything. Went to get her checkup. They found a lump. Biopsy, found out she has stage 2 breast cancer. Aggressive chemotherapy. Later on, I think I want to say maybe January, February, she'll be having a bilateral mastectomy. Followed by some more chemo treatment, and once she gets the okay and she's clear of any cancer, they'll be doing a what they do that reconstruction of her breast. So yeah, man, love her. Like I said, she's female cousin, but still, we grew up together, baths together, same bed, under the same roof sometimes. You know how that goes with your cousins when you're growing up and you got young mothers. how that goes. But yeah, man, just happy that she got her checkups. Happy that she's doing better. She's in good spirits. And you know, and when we were texting, I said, I didn't hear your voice. I didn't make sure that you okay. Because you can, motherfuckers tell you that okay over text message, but you can't hide that shit, you know, in their voice. So she sounded like she's doing great. Her and her boyfriend got a trip to Mexico, I think in like 2 weeks. You know, they've been kind of a celebratory thing after she got through her last chemo treatment here last week. So, man, love her to death. But once again, if you're listening, take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and make sure people are getting those checkups. Even if you feel well, you feel great, you never fucking know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but outside of that, man, hey, everything is good. Kids good. All the kids are good. Lady Lavender's good. I believe my niggas I fuck with are good, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
So, I know we said we was gonna play AOC's video, but there's like 2 minutes left of this video. Damn it, Joe. There's 2 minutes left of this beautiful woman, Joy. God, I love her. I ain't got no like weird fetish, but Joyce is doing something for me. I'm gonna play the rest of her video.
At the report that Laura Murphy sent to you, you've talked a lot about diversity, and you introduced her name about this great study in her work. Have you read it? Do you know what the recommendations were? Do you know when she issued the report? Yes or no?
I've seen the report.
Okay, tell me what the top 3 things were, because I have it right here. What were the top 3 things in her report? Somebody talked about lying in this committee. I'm only saying.
Well, one of them was around housing ads, which we've talked about. The other was around setting up a civil rights task force.
And who's on the Civil Rights Task Force?
Sheryl Sandberg is the person she's...
What's civil rights? Okay, we know Cheryl's not really civil rights, so I'm trying to help you here. She's your COO, and I don't think there's anything, and I know Cheryl well, about civil rights in her background. So come better than that for me, if we're going to talk civil rights.
It's an internal task force.
Do you know who the firm that you employ for civil rights is?
Congressman, I don't know.
How could you not know when you have employed the most historical, the largest civil rights firm to deal with issues that are major? And this is what's so frustrating to me. It's almost like you think this is a joke. When you have ruined the lives of many people, discriminated against them. Do you know what percentage of African Americans are on Facebook in comparison to majority folks? Do you know what the percentages are?
People using the Facebook?
Yes. Do you know what the percentages are for African Americans?
I don't, because we don't collect the races of people.
Well, it came out in a report and in the Pew Research Center that was sent to you. So maybe you just don't read a lot of things that deal with civil rights or African Americans. I have a lot of questions I'm going to send to you that I'm not going to be able to get through, and I would like an answer, because this is appalling and disgusting to me, and I yield back.
Damn, Mark.
I ain't fucking with you.
Damn, Mark. All you have to do is read the report, man.
Mark,
that's all you have to do.
Dog. Mark did not. Mark said, I'm rich. I ain't fucking with none of you niggas. I'll be good after this.
That's like going to the final exam, man, unprepared. Just saying, like, I'm just gonna wing it. Yep, I'm just gonna wing this.
And then, but not to get too deep into this shit, because I just kind of started reading up on some of the other shit. Now they're gonna have like the trusted or vetted news. They talk about some of the news sites they're gonna have in there. Breitbart being one of them. The same Breitbart that had a black crime section.
Damn.
That's gonna be part of the trusted news, man. Yeah. That's why, like we use these mediums as far as like keeping up with each other, and then like we really use. I mean, for the most part, we use Facebook as far as our main chat group to push news sources into. But y'all, And I think everyone.
Yeah, because we can't talk too bad about Mark because he'll shut our whole fucking operation down.
He will. But once again, that's why I say WhatsApp. We should go to WhatsApp. But anyway, I'm bringing it back. But I think we're all here pretty smart. We actually do click on links and read and kind of see like, okay, this might be some bullshit. But there are a lot of people that we all know and love, family members, friends, who don't click on these links. And what we have is they believe the bullshit and or they find a way to use news links or fake stories to divide a certain Democratic Party. And we have a orange piece of shit who's now the president. And it's all coming back again, the full circle, the Russian bots and all the shit that like kind of went away for 2 years is all kind of slowly coming back. Even on Twitter, you kind of see some of this shit too. So y'all be careful out there, man. Y'all be careful. Click on them links.
Stay safe.
Hey, stay safe. Drive slow. Click on the links. Don't be posting shit that I gotta read and be like, wait a minute, man, this shit's from 2012. What the fuck are we reading?
Just go ahead and click the links, read the stories. Do something once for your life. I mean, gather information before you start posting. These are very important things that we're trying to discuss with you guys and try to warn you about.
Yeah. True. You know what? Hold on.
You announced recently that the official policy of Facebook now allows politicians to pay to spread disinformation in 2020 elections and in the future. So I just want to know how far I can push this in the next year. Under your policy, using census data as well, could I pay to target predominantly black zip codes and advertise them the incorrect election date?
No, Congresswoman, you couldn't.
But you said you're not going to fact check my ads.
We have, if anyone, including a politician, is saying things that that is calling for violence or could risk imminent physical harm or voter or census suppression when we roll out the census suppression policy, we will take that content down.
So you will. There is some threshold where you will fact check political advertisements. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, Congresswoman, yes, for specific things like that, where there's imminent risk of harm.
Would I be able to run advertisements on Facebook targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal? I mean, if you're not fact checking political advertisements, I'm just trying to understand the bounds here. What's fair game?
I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. I think.
So you don't know if I'll be able to do that.
I think probably.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact-checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no. Okay.
I believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
so
are
you
saying,
won't take them
their
down.
Character for themselves.
So you won't take. You may flag that it's wrong, but you won't take it down. Question: in your ongoing dinner parties with far-right figures, some of who advance the conspiracy theory that white supremacy is a hoax, did you discuss so-called social media bias against conservatives, and do you believe there is a bias?
Congresswoman, I don't remember everything that was in the question.
That's all right. I'll move on, Ken. Can you explain why you've named the Daily Caller, a publication well-documented with ties to white supremacists, as an official fact-checker for Facebook?
Congresswoman, sure. We actually don't appoint the independent fact-checkers. They go through an independent organization called the Independent Fact-Checking Network that has a...
Hold on, dog. The Independent Fact-Checking Network? That shit sound fake. Motherfucker, dog.
Damn.
We actually don't check anything. We go through the niggas that check facts for niggas who got facts. Here, the Triple B podcast. Mark was not ready.
I told you, man. He should have studied for the final exam, man. Because it was an oral exam. He didn't know.
But the nigga dropped out of college, man. So I don't know what to say.
I get it though, but and you, Joe, me, and you sometimes we be linked up, and I get it. He does have a certain degree of intelligence. I get that, but we paint these people who are ultra rich to be these fucking mega mind brilliant fucking motherfuckers, and sometimes you just look. Here he is. He can't answer a simple question about the company that he owns.
Right.
I don't know. That's a massive company, though.
I don't know. It's a big company, but it's a massive company where he knew the questions that he was going to be asked today. Because all this shit is for the cameras. All this shit, they know what they're going to be discussing when they come to these motherfucking hearings.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, as much money as he got, as many niggas as he employed, he could take this fucking packet and have somebody break it down.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
brief his ass and have him something in front of him so he can be ready to answer these questions. You're right.
At least buy the damn Cliff Notes. Shit.
Or as he knows, he doesn't want to lie. He knows that no, we ain't taking none of this shit down. No, we not going.
We not say lying is bad.
Well, he said lying is bad, but then when she said you're gonna take it down, well, as she said, and I do hate that this video was very heavily edited. I do hate that. As I was playing this Rutter's video, whatever the fuck, I was like, this motherfucker is edited like a motherfucker. But still, he was not able to say yes or no to a like. When your Facebook ads are being played in a minority population, will you take down the ads that give out the wrong voter data, give out the wrong voter information? He can't say yes or no to that.
No.
Crazy. But but I do agree with Joe. Also, Joe, yeah, it's a very large corporation. Very large. So, I don't know.
No doubt. I mean, Facebook is, very big business, but at the same time, you should be ready when you're in when you're facing Congress or in any type of proceedings, and you have to answer, legal questions about your company. You best damn well be prepared, before the hands of Congress get a hold of you, because I'm telling you, man, they're relentless up there on the hill.
Yeah, one of y'all have a lot of giving a lot of feedback and noise. One of y'all. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because I don't know, man. Just the power. I hate to say it, but I won't say the power of whiteness, dog. But ain't no niggas that's college dropouts about to be sitting in front of Congress that's the head of some multi-million-dollar company and just being able to go, I don't know, and then they're gonna be all right when the end of the day comes. It's crazy. It's just crazy. We beat up Mark more than enough. But speaking of crazy, let's play some more videos.
Controversy at a cross-country meet. Tonight we're learning more about why a high school runner was disqualified for wearing her hijab.
My athletic officials telling us the whole situation could have been avoided if the school followed proper procedure. 13 ABC's Melissa Bates live tonight to tell us what happened and why. Melissa.
Lee and Diane, 16-year-old Noor Al-Karam runs on the Sylvania Northview cross-country team, and she's run all these races for a couple years now with her hijab, the traditional Muslim head covering. And she ran in the district cross-country race in Findlay this past weekend thinking it wasn't a problem. But when she finished and looked for her time, she learned she'd been disqualified.
Noor Alex Al-Karam says she was stunned.
At first, I felt like I've been punched, many times, like I got hit really hard.
She tells me her disqualification for wearing a hijab didn't make any sense. She'd never had a problem running with it before.
I felt embarrassed that I just ran this whole race, and everyone on the sidelines knew that I was disqualified except for myself and people I was running with.
According to the OHSAA rules, the school has to file a waiver to wear anything but the standard uniform. That had not been done because Noor says the coach didn't think it was a problem. It hadn't been. Noor is not upset with her coach and that he didn't tell her ahead of the race.
You're at the start line at this point, right? And the race is going to start in 30 seconds. So I didn't expect him to tell me and to completely mentally ruin the race for the rest of my team.
So Noor will be running in the regionals this weekend. The waiver has now been filed. The OHSAA has issued a statement saying it's looking to previous races to see why officials let her run without the waiver. We'll have more on what Noor has to say about all this tonight at 11. Back to you.
That's the stupidest shit. You can run with something, but you gotta get a waiver to run with it. It don't make no sense to me.
It's a head garment, man. I mean, it's a head garment. I'm like, what?
Well, Joe. I mean, Joe, you being the coach on this show, talk to us, bro.
So basically, what I did is I got that from. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. I got this story from Facebook.
Don't shut us down, Mark.
Please, Mark. We rely upon you heavily.
We need you to chit chat back and forth, nigga.
Really, answer the woman's questions, man, so you don't get shut down.
Please do. Please answer.
But I got it from a coaching colleague. Somebody who's a new coach at UMKC, and so basically, I took that story and I took it to another Facebook chat group.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Which is specific to cross country coaches.
Shout out.
Okay. And so I put it out there, and last time I checked, there were like 120 comments on that post. You know what I'm saying? So you got cross country coaches from all over the country weighing in, and there's been a wide array of reactions to it. So I would say the vast majority of people who reacted to it were either upset or frustrated in some way, because I mean, the first question you ask is, what advantage does a hijab give anybody? And the answer is, it doesn't give an advantage. It probably gives a disadvantage.
I was about to say.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm not the fastest runner, but when I ran, I wanted the least amount of shit on my body.
Yeah. So she's taking on extra weight, extra drag, that type of thing, by having that on. And so it's these, we got some archaic uniform rules. And so, when you and I were running, they had all these specifications about you couldn't wear earrings, you couldn't wear necklaces.
Yep.
The garments hanging out underneath the shorts need to be to this specification and that type of thing. And NFHS, the National Federation of High Schools, has basically, relaxed a lot of its specifications. I know that Missouri has relaxed a lot of their rules in terms of the wardrobe that can be worn. I know that necklaces and earrings are now something that you can wear. I remember having to run around at the beginning of my coaching career, making sure people took all their jewelry out, because if you show up at the line with it on, you were going to get disqualified. So we've relaxed those rules. Mm-hmm. But this just seems to be a holdover that nobody's addressed. And so, it's really wild, because if we're getting to the time of year where it's getting cold, like temperature dropped tremendously today here in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
This situation took place in Ohio last weekend. And so I don't know what the temperature is, but I know Ohio probably gets colder than especially around Toledo. That's up by Michigan. Yeah. And so it's got to be getting cold. When you go to cold weather rules, people can wear whatever. When I ran the state meet my senior year, I had on a skull cap and gloves. Mm-hmm. So to tell me she can't have a hijab on, I mean, it's really just baffling to me. And so for a long time, as I put this up there, because what the story I posted was initially the cousin or the sister or something like a big family member of hers. They put it out on Facebook on Wednesday. And so the meet took place on last Saturday, but the post was made on Wednesday. And it basically gave a paragraph where, the elder family member kind of gave us a preface of what was going on. And then it gave the child's account of what she saw. And so basically she didn't know why she was disqualified.
Wow.
She had watched her teammate have to change her shorts over something that is also pretty silly. I mean,
it wasn't like the same color, so she had to change like black or some shit like that.
She had a stripe on it. Like she had black shorts on, but I think it had a stripe.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And so, like I said, that used to be something we worried about. You had to have the exact same uniform on, if you're going to be a team. We've gotten away from that in Missouri. It's like if you got a uniform on and you are readily identified as a member of this team, you know, it's not like you can't have like, okay, you got the gray shorts on, you got the green shorts on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if they're just, you know, they're roughly the same color, we're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So they told us, this young lady, her friend, that you got the wrong shorts on, so she had a stripe on hers. So she had to take the black shorts with the white stripe off and replace them with solid black. And then they didn't tell her a thing about her hijab.
Yep.
She been running all season with this thing, and nobody has said anything. And then all of a sudden, see, it's this time of year, like especially in track. I haven't seen a whole lot of this in cross country, but in track, they get very litigious.
Oh yeah.
About you know, oh, we got to dot this I, cross this T, and this guy got to get disqualified because, you know, he's got this exposed and the Nike check is half a centimeter too long. I know
what you're talking about. I mean, you being the coach, you probably hear and see a lot more. But I know, like, yeah, definitely during this time of year, well, if it's track season, late in the track season, like, it definitely, like you said, dotting I's, crossing the T's, all that shit.
So rules that we ain't heard about all year start coming up at the end of the season because I guess people's trip to state is on the line. And so now all of a sudden we're concerned about this job. Well, the situation is, so a lot of the people on this track group were like, first and foremost, somebody looked up the rule. Somebody who lived in Ohio looked up the rule and put it out there. And basically what it states, because we were all guessing at what it was, you know, what the problem was, because the girl didn't even know. She ran the race. Her coach didn't tell her. She ran the race. She finished 30th, or around about what would have been 30th. And then she comes across the line. She starts looking for her time, and it's just not there. And like, I don't understand this coach. I really, like, his team. He's obviously a decent coach because his team qualified for the next round. So good news, she's gonna get to run this Saturday. She's running tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Because her team qualified through. She would have been the number 6 runner, and I don't know who knows anything about cross country, but it takes 5 people to have a team, and the maximum number on a team is 7. So she is one of their top 7 runners, means she's a valuable runner. She's probably the number 6 runner, which, again, is only a top 5 score, but the 6th runner can be a bit of a tiebreaker. And so if there were being a tie, the 6th place runner, whoever has a better 6th place runner, ends up breaking the tie. So she's a valuable member of the team. But, you know, she'll get a chance to run again next week. But the way he handled this situation is just silly to me. Like, I don't understand, A, why he didn't know the rule. B, I don't know why when they disqualified her, why he didn't tell her. And I understand, you know, you don't want to get in her mind. You want her to run tough, you know, that type of thing. She's 16 years old. Tell the truth. Or if you let her run without it, catch her ass as soon as she finishes across the finish line. So grab her and let her know exactly what happened. And don't let her go to the fucking results board and figure it out for herself.
Right. So,
you know.
So not to cut you off, so because I don't want to get the question to ask you, but so like you being a coach, so is there the possibility that he just didn't know the rule?
Quite possible, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he's responsible for that too. And so
yeah, he's responsible. Yeah.
He's not the only one culpable here. Because I mean, I don't know. We opening gifts? What is it? What's that about?
You
talking about me?
You can't say nothing to him. You was opening up. Both of y'all niggas acting crazy. Don't even know it.
Nigga over here popping bubble wrap, nigga.
Nigga, it's my pills, man. I'm taking my pills out the bag. But go ahead.
I'm mute, nigga. Anyway, so the point I'm making to you is that he didn't know the rule because nobody held him to the rule the whole damn season. They probably run like 10 meets before this.
Right. So
and nobody held him to the rule before that. Then I put it this way, I don't live in Ohio, I live in Missouri. In Missouri, we have a PowerPoint that you go online and you have to go through the whole thing and take a test at the end and be accountable for everything on it. And so I don't know if that was included in their PowerPoint video that they make the coaches watch for education. But usually there is something about uniform rules.
Right.
And undergarments and that type of thing. And a lot of times what it would be is does it match? So if you're wearing if somebody on the team has on black undergarments, everybody needs to be wearing black undergarments. So if they all match, usually that's cool. But when we're talking about the hijab, the rule in Ohio basically said that you needed to get special permission ahead of time to wear this, and it needs to be printed out and brought with you to each meet. And so my thing about this is how fucking antiquated is this goddamn rule? Why do Muslim people have to get special recognition to be Muslim?
And I think that's when I read the story, that's the thing that upset me the most. That being like, you can wear it, but you got to get permission for it. So why can't I just wear it? And then the idea of two parts on that one. Why didn't the coach know the rule? But the people there at the meet who saw her come to the line had already said, "Oh, yeah, she disqualified." But it seems to me they were cowardice and they didn't want to address it. So you know what? Fuck it, let her run, and we ain't gonna give her no score no matter what. That's how I took it when I read the article. That's how it seemed to me. Like
and I don't know if that's the coach shielding her.
Right.
And, they told the coach, and the coach was like, well, if we just going to do this, I don't know. Because what the girl said in her story is that her friend automatically was told to take care of the shorts.
Right.
Nobody told her anything, but she caught her coach talking to the official for like 10 minutes or so, around, somewhere in that ballpark.
I missed that part.
And I don't know if it was in the video, you know what I'm saying? But this is her account of what happened.
Okay.
And so she caught him talking to the official for some time, and she figured it might be about her, but nobody said anything, so she just shook it off and got ready for the race.
Okay,
that might be it. That might have been the coach's design to not have her think about it. I think it's a dumbass rule. It's just a stupid fucking rule.
I think so too. I mean, I get it. I mean, you don't want niggas just showing up wearing do-rags and I'm about to run this 110 with this do-rag on. I get that, but it's quite
why is that a problem? I don't know why that's a problem.
I was making a joke, but it shouldn't be a problem.
I'm just saying. I'm saying though. I know. I get it was a joke, but I'm just saying.
No, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you want to have I guess coming from the military standpoint, you want to have a uniform. But then if someone's saying that, I don't know. But then you're right. We get to these gray areas, so it's like, I don't know. When it gets to the uniform of it all, but as you say, it's antiquated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no good answer for you.
And I don't know why. I didn't look. I talked about this story on the other podcast, and so I kept it. I was in different company. I wasn't with the brothers breaking bread.
You was with the.
I was breaking crackers or something. I don't know.
Oh man, I'm glad you said. I'm about to say the cracker sipping tea. I was going to say that. I'll let you start.
We were breaking pita or something like that. We had pita bread or something. I don't know.
Brothers, crackers eating hummus.
Ladies and gentlemen, they were not breaking Wonder Bread. They were breaking pita bread.
Pita bread.
There it is.
Pita bread.
I wasn't with the brothers. I was with the others.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure. Did they have different ideas about it?
I think they were definitely the people. The people on the podcast were not track guys. Football guys, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Probably familiar with basketball and other things. One of them had a daughter who did cross country.
Okay.
So, I think they're roughly familiar with the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think they're advocates for kids. At least one of them's a coach, so he's an advocate for kids. But I mean, I think they were definitely in the position of being sympathetic to the young lady. Mm-hmm. They didn't necessarily know the rules, so I mean, because like I said, that's not their chosen sport.
Right.
So they kind of relied on me to ask the information, but I think I felt compelled to speak up as the black man in the room when there were some concepts or some just some nuances to the speech that I didn't like. Right. You understand what I'm saying to you?
But we talked about on the show too, though, because like we this is like our third article. We're talking about people of color, or and then like in other cases specifically, black people. I can't tell if she's black or she's a brown.
She's a person of color. Yeah, so she's Muslim.
Let's leave it at that. She's a person of color. So we got our first. I mean, on the other podcast, we talked about the brother with the dreadlocks.
The wrestler, last season, the wrestler.
Yeah, and then on this podcast, not too long ago, we talked about the swimmer who, because
up in Alaska,
little curvy, had
got a wedgie,
so got DQ, but later was reinstated with whatever fact. And now we're here with this, and it's like it seems a trend because I never hear these stories. We usually hear of white athletes being disqualified for uniforms, so it's kind of like it's like what's going on here. Or uniforms and or hairstyle, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what's going on here? And then, but it always comes down to the fact that you can't tell me this. And then you brought up a good point. And they all happen in the season of when you're talking about, whether it be districts, sectionals, whatever it is for your particular event. So for that wrestler, it was like sectional or district type event that he was just.
I'm not sure. That might have just been a duel. That might have been a duel from what I gathered. I don't remember. It was that was 10 months ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It might not be, but I know definitely the other one, the swimmer. I mean, I guess it was a qualifying. They are all qualifying meets, for the most part. So it wasn't like it's a,
Yeah, swimming's different because you could, from what I don't know what it's like in Alaska, but you can get a qualifying mark at any registered meet during the season. I think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When you hit that automatic qualifier, I think you're good to go. I don't know. I may be wrong.
I leave it to you. I don't know either. I just know that
I coached one season swimming. I coached one season swimming, but that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was a lifeguard,
and the rules probably changed since then. And I ain't have any great swimmers either. So
I was a lifeguard, dog. That's it. I wasn't out there timing nobody. Mm-hmm. But I know that I think she won. She won that. I know she won that race.
She was a beast over there on the swim side.
So she won that race. Whatever we have already acquiesced to our ignorance as far as like the mark and whatever that qualifies for. And this here, this is from I guess the district meet. Mm-hmm. The young lady wearing the hijab. So I don't know. It's just.
See, I always encounter, and this is. We don't have nobody who listens anyway. It's when I go out to the rural communities. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody living on a farm listening to the podcast.
And if they are, they need to wake up.
They need to get woke, man. When we go out to the rural communities, we get harassed.
I know you do.
It's so frustrating.
Bro, when I was the only white dude on the only black dude on the all white Blue Valley North basketball team, and we're going to the fucking Dodge City fucking tournament. Oh, actually, no, not Dodge City. There was one other black dude there. We went to the McPherson tournament my senior year. I was literally the only nigga there.
Yeah.
McPherson, Kansas, dog. I was, and they. Nigga, I thought they want. I felt like I was in a fucking 1930s film, and they was just like bringing niggas around in chains and white people touching them. Like, ooh, it's a nigga.
I think it was in one of them nigga zoos.
Nigga zoos, dog. They just want to pet me. Look at his hair. It looks like black cotton. Can we touch it?
Yes, indeed. Can I touch it? It's like wool. Oh my gosh.
Whoa. I thought they'd be bigger. They said they were savages, but he's the same size as all the white boys.
Yes,
But yeah, go ahead. My bad, man.
I'm until you pull your penis out, nigga. Like,
hey, I mean, there's a couple of white girls I mean, back when I was in, senior high, there's a couple white girls.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Is all his legs long?
Is that a banana in your pocket? Or you have to see me, big boy.
Sir, that better be I'm ready to make some banana bread. Is that a banana?
With your monkey ass.
Your monkey ass. I saw you dunk that ball. I'm gonna dunk some balls somewhere else.
Dunk these balls over here too.
Dunk your ball. Right.
Oh, God.
So anyway, man. You're right. Nigga, that's what y'all tune in for. I don't know what y'all fronting for.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody that's still listening, that's what they tune in for, nigga. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about none of this politics shit we talking about.
They're like, skip forward. This nigga Joe got real serious. Oh, they talking about nigga dicks. Very good. The content we all here for.
Why are we on nigga dicks?
But go ahead.
Joe always want to get serious and shit. Talk about...
I'm talking about rules and qualifying. We want to talk about niggas hanging from trees with their dicks.
They go straight to the nigga dicks. Come on, man.
Is that a monkey tail or a nigga's dick? That's all I'm here for.
Anyway, back to it, man. Back to serious.
Yeah.
So, when you go out to rural communities, the officiating is different, but I mean, I just, you feel like you get targeted, man.
Yeah.
And so I've experienced that in basketball. I've experienced that in track. Cross country is usually not that big a deal because I mean, it's pretty much just line up and run. You know what I'm saying? But obviously not here. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's silly to have this rule. I think the administrators
Give me 1 second.
in Ohio, go ahead. The administrators in Ohio need to go back and re-examine this rule, man, because I mean it's targeting one particular group of people. Who wears hijabs? Muslim people. Yeah. And so why are they the only ones who have to go get a clarification or some sort of certification to say they can be Muslim on the cross country course? So,
I'll go even further, man. They're like that, with not just sports, but anything that has to do with Muslims joining in or whatever. They always have to have quote unquote special permission in order to participate in any type of function.
Oh yeah. And see, that's what I was doing. I was on the messenger group, not messenger group, it was Facebook group for the cross country coaches. And you got these coaches from Florida. I mean, you know how Florida is.
Here we go.
If you from Florida, nigga, you know what your state like.
No, you gotta explain. They had stories of niggas eating people's faces in broad daylight. So.
Oh, we got a Florida story coming up in the fucking videos. I'm gonna hold on to that.
Okay.
But I mean, so some dude from Florida was basically on this Facebook chat group, this cross country group, talking about they have such beautiful hair, they should be allowed to wear their hair any way they want to. And I was like, yeah, motherfucker, they should be able to wear their hair any way they fucking want to. Like, if they want to wear a fucking hijab, let them motherfuckers wear a hijab. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. These fucking bigots that are out here coaching people's kids, like, somebody needs to snatch their fucking whistle, man. Somebody, like, the second fucking post that somebody put up there was basically saying it sounded like somebody's ass hurt because she got disqualified. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if that's your fucking mentality. And so as soon as he did that shit, he deleted the motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
because he knew he was outing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck are you on the coach's website, nigga? Your ass need to fuck. I'm just gonna get pissed off.
Well,
why the fuck are you in contact with people's kids? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Because you here to teach kids to be racist?
Fucking bigots. Yeah, man. That's why the fuck these rules are still on the books, because the state is filled with fucking bigots who these good old boys run the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the networks.
Yep.
And write the fucking rule books, and it's just upsetting.
I was waiting for y'all to get there.
Hey, but you know what? We'll move on. Because there's a white woman who has a message for us.
Do you have any teenage sons? Listen up.
Joanna Schroeder has a message to moms just like her of teen and tween boys. Pay attention to your children's online gaming or social media, because even if you aren't, white supremacists are.
Everywhere from the alt-right, which is kind of a more comfortable way of saying not quite a Nazi, to true neo-Nazis. They've studied the way that our young men interact online, and they have looked at what these boys need, and they have learned how to fill those needs in order to entice them into propaganda.
As a writer of online content, she was surprised when she heard some of the coded language she was often confronted with coming out of her own sons' mouths. What are some of the warning phrases or words?
The first word I heard was triggered, and this is a tough one because you'll hear this from your conservative uncle, and you may also hear this from a kid that's getting a lot of alt-right messaging online, and that's everyone's too sensitive today.
There's a whole lexicon shared by members of these online communities. One common thread among the words and ideas they favor, she says, are complaints about people who are too sensitive.
And that's a
Hold up. I ain't seen nigger, coon. I ain't seen none of that on that screen.
Well, these are fucking gateway words.
This is gateway. Oh, the gateway racism.
Yeah. That shit is, man. Oh, you're triggered.
Gateway racism.
You're a snowflake.
The fact that I and the one thing I do hate is, and I can't say I hate it. I get this. This is her story, that they limited to young white men, and we gonna act like these young white women they out here just as racist.
Oh man, I got somebody. She's a cousin of a cousin or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
She just put up the fucking most bigoted Republican bullshit up on the screen every goddamn day. Nah, it's frustrating. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, dog. And hey, dog, they got us to the Dud Seed episode, bro. I gotta go back to the archives of the previous podcast, dog. Listen to it.
we might have to start publishing the greatest hits on there.
We might have to, bro.
Yeah, we might have to go back. We might have to go back in the archives and post the greatest hits. You know what I'm saying?
And we talk about too. Like, it's gonna take more than just us as a community of black people talking about these things to make racism go away. And hats off to her for seeing this and addressing it. But to think that society just puts it all on white males, like as I said before, I'll say it again, and you could just put into like white women are not. For every white man is putting on a white hood and a white sheet, there's a white woman at home waiting to watch that motherfucker.
Right. Yeah. Was it fucking in Django where the fucking wife cut out the holes in the mask?
Complain. No, man. For the criticize, nigga. And we laughed because it was a funny ass scene, but it was.
We appreciate it. We just wish you could see out of it. That's all.
The goddamn horse don't need a sheep. You don't need to see. I don't need to see. The horse can see, nigga. Oh, shout out to Don Johnson, dog. That was like, just Miami Vice, dog. That was his fucking best role ever, nigga.
Classic.
You want me to treat him like white folks, Big Daddy? No. That's not what I said.
Don Johnson.
Oh shit! But I'm glad we can laugh at that. But yeah, man. But back to like.
But I mean, yeah,
okay,
I feel you on women. White women can be targeted too. But I'm saying to you that we know that it's white men.
Oh, we know.
We know that they the vast majority of these folks. You know what I'm saying? And they get in the circles and they just allow themselves to be surrounded by people.
It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. With bullshit, and they don't challenge it because they want to fit in. You know what I'm saying?
They want to fit in, and we feel that everything's going away. The world's turning brown. There's all these biracial babies, all this shit like crazy shit like that. This reverse racism, anti-whiteism, whatever the fuck, anti-racism, whatever the fuck they call it nowadays. I don't know. I can hear a lot of catchphrases. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. White mothers, watch out for your white sons.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
I don't. Yeah. Hey man, are we radicalizing people in the other direction?
What you say?
Are we radicalizing folks in the other direction?
You mean like as far as like
are people listening to the Brothers Breaking Bread and becoming radical black nationalists?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I think we're pretty. I mean, I think we're pretty moderate.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we ain't very. I mean, but we're not. I don't want to say hotepish because hotepish and some of this white nationalism shit kind of go hand in hand. So that's kind of a crazy thing to say sometimes. But I don't think we extreme. I don't think so.
I think we have our moments.
We have our moments, but I think overall.
And really, I think what our moments are is just that, we react to something that, really hurts us. That's what my opinion is. It's something that really hurts us, and that's how and when we react, it's like extreme.
I'm trying to think. That's a good question. I would say, you know what? I can't say that. That's not my purpose. I hope not. I have a. Now I don't want to do that. I want to say I got the one white friend.
Well, you racist as fuck.
Racist as fuck. I know, but I ain't gonna say that. But I don't know. I mean, but I guess on this show we are men who identify as black. And things that affect us are usually coming from the other side of things. And I just want things to be more pushed towards the middle. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. God damn it, Joe. Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. All I can say is I hope not. And I do, sometimes we get extreme, I guess. Not extreme. Maybe sometimes we push upon or put more weight upon whiteness, but I cannot let go of the idea that I think a lot of things, especially when it comes to racism, a lot of that is on white people to fix it.
Right.
I still hold that idea. So I don't know. If that makes me an extremist, I'm sorry, white people. I can't help it. Until y'all can come and show me that the way I feel is different, I'm sorry.
Well, hey, we integrated last week.
We did. We did our part.
Yeah, we did. We did
separate,
our part.
But it wasn't even separate but equal. She was here. We tried to get her equal time. We gave her her own segment on the show. We did our part.
We tried.
She's going to the Triple B Hall of Fame. First white woman on the show.
There it is. She's the Jackie Robinson. She's the Jackie. Delaney is the Jackie Robinson of the Triple B.
We'll have to call her the Jacqueline Robinson or something like that. I don't know.
God. Obama. She's just the Obama of the Triple Bs.
The inaugural fucking award show. She should be nominated. Yes. The Jacqueline As a matter of fact, it should be called the Jacqueline Robinson Award for the next time we have a white person on the show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Delaney Award.
The Delaney Award.
There it is.
Now we only got to find more white people to come on the show, nigga. I don't know.
We're gonna hunt high and low, bro.
We will warn them. We were warned.
I don't think so. No. It's probably easy to find some white women that want to be on the show.
Why got to be white women? You just want white women.
Why can't we get white men? We got to radicalize them back.
Hey, you know what's up. You know what's up.
Now you know it's easier to get white women than it is to get the white men.
It's easy for you. Okay, you know what? Let's stop. Dog.
Hey man, look, we've already determined that you can be friends.
Let's stop.
Okay.
Hey,
some of them could be friends with benefits.
Speaking of race,
see what I'm talking about? See that was my thesis. Come on now.
I'm moving on. Speaking of people who have had enough of white people shit, y'all hear about this hunter who was gored by the deer he thought he shot and killed?
He might be listening to Triple B, nigga.
He should.
Let me play this. Put y'all up on game.
This is on the list
because niggas don't fuck with wild animals.
For the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
I've worked for the Game and Fish Commission for 20 years, and it's one of the stranger things that's happened.
Officials say 66-year-old Thomas Alexander shot a buck with a muzzle loader while hunting near Yellville.
I don't know how long he left it there, but he went up to check it to make sure that it was dead, and evidently it wasn't.
Keith Stevens with Arkansas Game and Fish says that is when the deer attacked.
It got back up, and he had several puncture wounds on his body.
The agency says Alexander was by himself, but able to call his family, who called emergency responders. He later passed away at the hospital. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says it's unclear whether Alexander died from those puncture wounds or from another cause, like a heart attack.
It's my understanding that...
Hold on, dog. Did this bitch just use her mouth to say, I don't know if this nigga died from these puncture wounds or from a heart attack?
That nigga got bullied with the bucks.
So, black people, y'all listening, I'm not trying to make y'all extremists or nothing. So, if the police come to your house and shoot you, and you still alive, lay on the ground, play dead, and then puncture them niggas when they come to check if you dead.
There you go.
It's like a couple more seconds. Hold on.
An autopsy, so we may never know what actually happened.
Stevens says the only other time he's heard of something like this happening was in Ashley County.
There was somebody that did get stuck by a buck's antlers, and this was about 4 years ago, and it was pretty significant, but they did survive.
The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says it's important for hunters to make sure the deer is not moving for about 30 minutes before approaching it.
When you get up there, be really careful around it because it may not be dead. But if you let them lay there for a while and they don't move, and he may have done that, we just don't know.
Reporting in Marion County, I'm Caitlin Sinnett.
He might be dead. You may not know.
Well, hey, all I know is we one vote closer to getting Trump out of office.
What's up? Who?
we won. That's one less vote for the occupant.
Nah,
we might be radicalizing motherfuckers, man. Hold on.
We might let's promote deer. It's gonna be niggas out there dressed as deer, nigga, waiting.
Hey man, this nigga started fucking with Giannis, nigga.
Oh, shit.
I think Giannis wasn't bullshit, nigga. Oh man,
that's good. That's good. Hey, hold on. Y'all still can't see my screen, can y'all? I hate this shit.
Nah.
Hold on, I'm just doing video for this. Hold on. I'm gonna put in the show notes. Yeah, we talked about it, but this circus bear that fucked his trainer up, it's pretty good, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna send it. I ain't gonna play it, but I'll put in the show notes, dog. Once again, dog, and he's a black bear. I guess he's a brown. He look black to me, but he's a brown bear. He a bear color. He a BOC. BOC, Yashaka attacked his handler during a performance traveling with the traveling circus in Russia. Ooh, he was fucking him up, dog. Ooh, hold on. Y'all can't see it. Dog, you gotta be ballsy, dog, Fam, ain't no chain, ain't no links. He ain't got no shot collar on. They ain't got no shotgun ready. This is a 660-pound bear, nigga. He at least 2 offensive linemen at minimum. And all they got is a wheelbarrow and 5 white men. That's it.
Wrestling's different, man.
Not that day.
They fell in line that day, huh?
And I don't know, dog. You got, I gotta fix this so I can see my screen. I'm gonna fix this shit. I swear to God. Now I don't know if his homeboy was helping or hurting, because his homeboy come out of nowhere and just start kicking the shit out of the bear. He just kicking him, and his man getting mauled, nigga. I mean, mauled.
Was this the nigga? They had a fucking replay of the Revenant.
It looked. The first couple of seconds, dog. It looked real Revenant-ish. I don't know if that's the word, nigga. It looked very
Revenantian.
Revenantian.
Revenetian.
Hey, nah, I don't know what he did wrong. He supposed to give him a snack and he didn't. Oh, nigga, it's a wrap, nigga. It's a wrap, dog. Hold on, the bear had never been violent before. They never violent before, dog. Yeah, because he's like, he pushed the wheelbarrow over, and I think the dude was trying to give him a snack. I don't know if the snack fell, and the bear said, nigga, I'm not good on afford to get that, and just started fucking him up. That's like that, you seen that Blackfish on Netflix back in the day when it was on? It was about the killer whales that are in captivity.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they was killing white people, dog. They was killing
orcas.
Them orcas. Hey, dog. I think it was some petty shit too, dog. Cause I think the little orca, the killer whale had did a little trick, and the bitch forgot to give him some fish. That nigga remembered, dog. That next day she came back, that nigga pulled her ass down and fucked her up, dog. It was bad. And they like,
bitch, you ain't give me no damn sardines.
Hey,
What's wrong with you?
And like, dog, we gotta get the video on that for next time we do a animals acting bad segment, dog. Cause that motherfucker, you can see he's kind of like just floating there with his head on top of the wall, looking like, oh, so I ain't getting no fish? I didn't jump through the hoop? Okay. I got something for your ass, bitch. Soon, tomorrow when you get in this motherfucker, you're going to the bottom of the pool, bitch, and you're not coming back. and that's what happened. Sorry to the families whose daughter that was. Sorry. But side note, stop holding animals in captivity. Anyway. Let me see here, man. What we at as far as time, man? Shit.
Now, you know what? That wouldn't be the first time we'd have to somebody drowning on this show.
Ooh. We're up to the whole family drowning on this show. Damn. Hey, you still there at 10 meters?
You thinking about Colorado, Nikki?
Oh, I didn't know if he had got a fucking 12-pack of White Claws and had...
No, man. Shit, I had it on mute.
Oh, okay. But nah, man.
You was unpacking Christmas gifts or something?
No, man, I was not unpacking no damn Christmas gifts.
He getting ready to go.
Packing clothes.
He getting ready to go. So he getting ready to pack. So what you taking now? You got like the double-sided dildo.
The brown flesh colored one.
Brown flesh colored one. You got that. You probably got that ramen, that chicken flavored ramen, KY jelly.
Chicken flavored ramen, KY jelly. You could pick watermelon flavored jelly or something.
Nah, dog. Nah, that's too sweet, dog. If you are only real niggas will fuck with the ramen flavored, the chicken flavored.
First of all,
that's that you got to get that umami flavor, nigga.
Umami.
That's savory. They got that umami.
You got that beef bouillon flavored.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
That should be salty down there. You don't want no sweet to go with that.
Hennessy. This nigga got Hennessy flavored condoms.
Oh shit. Damn. Oh.
Okay. All right. I think it's time for us to go.
Sorry, America.
We have talked about the things we have come to talk about.
And then some.
Oh, yeah. All right, man. Hey, thank y'all for your time. Safe travels, 10 meters.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Be careful out there. Make sure you double seal those chicken flavored KY jellies.
Right.
Want that spilling into your bag.
No.
All right. Stop. Let's get out of here, man. I'll stop. So once again, man, thank everybody for listening in. Brothers Breaking Bread podcast. Never ever miss a moment to break bread with your brothers. Triple B podcast. We out.
Break bread with your brothers whenever possible.